evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Ashley McDowell. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A bill for students to cut costs when going to a four-year college is making its way through the House of Representatives. Also tonight, the community shows appreciation for this important day in history. And the CNMI is receiving money to make upgrades that will save energy on the islands. In sports, the Saipan Baseball League moves closer to crowning Kings of the Diamond. Stay with us, these stories and more are next.
"48 hours. That's all we get in a week. But those 48 hours, we try to make them last forever. How? By filling them fast with all the right stuff. With a lot of laughter, a little drama, some adventure, and a whole lot of love."
Dad, Mom's here.
It happens pretty quick,
Bye, Dad.
but it's cool. Because the rest of the week, we talk about our plans
You want to go to the beach?
on how to make the next 48 hours last us a lifetime.
Green sea turtles and hawksbill turtles call the Mariana Islands home. They are an important part of the marine ecosystem. They are under threat, and they are protected under CNMI law. Keep plastic out of the ocean. Keep vehicles off the beach. Use the Sea Turtle Stranding Hotline if you see poaching activities or if you see a turtle in trouble. Call 287-8537 and save a turtle.
Hafa Day, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. Today is Monday, November 4th, 2019. In Washington, D.C., the Education and Labor Committee has passed the College Affordability Act, introduced by Congressman Gregorio Khalili-Sablan, along with 24 other Democrats. According to a release from Congressman Khalili, this bill will allow for graduates from Northern Marianas College to pay in-state tuition when they go to further their education at a four-year school. This includes a grant up to $15,000 that would cover the difference between in-state tuition and out-of-state tuition at a four-year college for NMC graduates. The act also states that the Marianas would receive $2.1 million over 6 years that would provide training in high-skill, in-demand industries. The House of Representatives is expected to vote on the act before the end of 2019. Today we celebrate Citizenship Day in recognition of the people of the CNMI becoming official U.S. citizens.
On this day in 1986, our leaders at that time signed into law a bill declaring November 4 as Citizenship Day. KSPN heads out into the streets and have the people explain what is so important about Citizenship Day.
What is the importance of Citizenship Day?
It's the day that the U.S. and the CNMI became one, which enabled us to become U.S. citizens.
Be proud of what we have, because other countries couldn't have these kinds of rights that we have, like traveling to other countries and stuff like that.
33 years ago, the people of the Marianas became full-fledged citizens of the United States and were finally able to receive all benefits written in the covenant. Being a U.S. citizen does have its perks, and the community does enjoy the privileges that comes with our title.
So it can help us by getting work, also education. They can help us also by FEMA and other stuff.
Okay, so what are some privileges of being a U.S. citizen?
Medicaid,
What else?
and can travel to almost anywhere. Traveling, I guess.
Education benefits, citizen benefits is to want to be a part of a bigger society, which gives us more opportunities, whether that's through the education versus health benefits versus general assistance, whether, for example, FEMA during the typhoons. Thankfully, that was a great part of the U.S. To come in and help us when that unfortunately came around, and I suspect that they'll be there next time as well.
Happy Citizenship Day!
This is Halil Limis for KSPN News.
Many of the people who were present here on that historic day 33 years ago are no longer with us. Two significant people from the governor's office were among the first to see the facts from President Reagan. Let's take a look back. There was no advance notice on that day, November 4th, 1986, November 3rd in Washington, and the announcement came which caught the NMI by surprise. Frank Rosario was the public information officer for Governor Pedro P. Tenorio.
Actually, it came to Governor Pedro P. Tenorio during his second term in office. I think it came from the White House, informing us that the trusteeship agreement is no longer effective here, and that we would now become full-fledged Commonwealth, which means that in a few months, shortly thereafter, we would all become, or those eligible would become U.S. citizens. The facts came first. Later on, a hard copy came. Actually, we were surprised because there was no warning. They didn't tell us that, hey, you will be receiving a fax that you will become U.S. citizens. And later on, I do not know how long it took, but later on a hard copy came from the White House signed by President Reagan.
Ray Camoy Guerrero was the special assistant for administration at that time.
It's historical for me. In fact, last night I was thinking about it. I told the governor that President Reagan would like to speak with you. He didn't believe me. I said, look at the screen. That's the Oval Office, but the president is not there yet, but he's going to sign it there. Mr. President, oh fine, how are you? Mr. President, you know we are in Tahiti, and we're waiting for this special occasion for you to sign the proclamation for our people in the Commonwealth to become your citizen. And then I told him that, because I was monitoring the conversation, when I heard that the president was asked to go ahead to the Oval Office to prepare for the signing of the proclamation. And there we watch it. We were watching it. Then he turned around and he said, Ray, call Saipan, call my secretary, Donna Cruz, and tell her to put you through to the acting governor and tell him to issue a proclamation declaring the Commonwealth a holiday and that we are American citizens. So I did that. It's really it's a good feeling, being part of that.
The U.S. Department of Interior has announced $5 million is being used to support cost-saving energy projects within U.S. territories. Doug Dominic, the U.S. Department of Interior Assistant Secretary, Insular and International Affairs, says the $5 million is under the Energizing Insular Communities Program for fiscal year 2019 funding, which will support energy efficiency projects, saving residents thousands in territories of American Samoa, Guam, the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. $785,000 will go to the CNMI, with $250,000 of that for the island of Tinian to provide solar-powered LED light systems. $223,000 will go to Rhoda for a battery energy storage program, and $168,000 will go to Rhoda Aquaponics program, and $152,000 to update the CNMI's Strategic Energy Plan. $1.8 million will go to American Samoa, $1.7 million to Guam, and $625,000 will go to the U.S. Virgin Islands. The Commonwealth Ports Authority Airport Facilities Committee met last Friday, and one of the items on the agenda that was approved is the removal of a water well near Tandem Skydive that is no longer being used. CPA Chairwoman Kimberly King-Hines says CPA is entering into a new lease with Tandem Skydive where improvements are going to be made by the company to CPA property, and this is one of those improvements. All 7 on the committee voted yes to send CUC a notice that the well will be capped.
As a condition of that lease, they've agreed to make some improvements in the general aviation area, and there's a water well that's kind of sitting there that's not being used, that needs to be rehabilitated. And so there's over 60 other water wells on CPA property, and I think, do we keep a water well that exists inside that's not operable, or do we basically work out a deal where whoever's interested in developing the area move it so that they can make improvements to CPA for the benefit of not just CPA but for the general public, right? And so I think it's an easy decision to make. If they're willing to come in and remove it, why not?
The Emergency Operations Center reports an earthquake that happened over the weekend near Pagan. Around 9 a.m. on November 3rd, EOC states a 4.9 magnitude was recorded 240 kilometers southeast of Pagan. There are no tsunami warnings or advisories. For more information, contact the CNMI EOC State Warning Point at 237-8000. Coming up, a look ahead to the island's biggest go-to party. That story and more following the break.
ITV's data was still working. It was easier for us to communicate with family. We would video call, show them around, like this is how bad it hit Rhoda. During the typhoon, when we were struggling to get back on our feet, ITV pushed back the date for when to pay your bill. They were helping us so that we don't have to spend the money. Instead of using it for the bill, we used it to help us to get back on our feet. I'm Vaina Lizama, and I'm with the network that works.
Watch the Visitors Channel online, on time, anytime at SaipanTV.com. Where to go, what to see, what to do, restaurants, spas, activities, and culture, it's all in one place, in high definition, on your mobile device. SaipanTV.com. Check it out.
Welcome back to the Citizenship Day edition of KSPN2 News. This Saturday is the island's biggest party and biggest fundraiser for one charitable organization that is frequently in the news right here.
The NMI chapter of the American Red Cross is asking the public to support its largest fundraising effort of the year in order to raise resources for disaster relief services. All proceeds from their annual Club 200 will stay with the NMI chapter, and the last 4 years have been especially taxing on Saipan, Tinian, and Rhoda residents who continue to rely on the services provided by the American Red Cross, both the national and local offices. Once again, corporate sponsors have climbed on board. This morning, Lila Boyer from the Marianas Variety presented the NMI chapter a check for $5,000.
Always a worthwhile cause. You know, the NMI chapter, the American Red Cross, has always been around for our families, for our community, and we're happy to support it. Thank you.
The theme this year, Latin Nights. Hot and spicy salsa on the sand of the Fiesta Resort and Spa. A dance contest, costume contest, piñatas, giveaways, music, and food, all with a Latin flavor. Co-chairman Tanya David invites everybody.
Everybody should come. It's going to be a fun party this year at Club 200. It's Latin night, so bring on your salsa dancing bodies and enjoy the night with us.
Once again, the raffle will be the highlight of the show. Here are some previous winners.
Bernie, congratulations. You are the grand prize winner for Club 200. Let's give it up for Bernie. Oh, she's screaming. Oh.
I was just walking in the back with a friend of mine and somebody just said, go up because your aunt won. And they knew she wasn't here, so I just went up and I was kind of just caught in the storm trying to figure out what was going on.
And then you FaceTimed her.
Yes,
What did she have to say?
She was surprised and she was definitely happy. I told her to give her a call, so I didn't have much time to let it all register with her. All she knows is and I'd be giving her a call soon.
This year, the grand prize is being donated by AK Toyota. It's thumbs up for this year's Club 200 Latin Nights. You could win this Toyota RAV4 if you're lucky, but you have to be in it to win it. We'll see you there Saturday night, Club 200.
On Guam, firefighters in Pohnpei underwent extensive training with the help from the Guam Fire Department. KUAM has the details.
Joan Agan-Charfres shares how close to 25 firefighters in Pohnpei recently underwent extensive training with the assistance of the Guam Fire Department.
Battalion Chief Dean Uggan is currently the EMS Training Operations Chief for the Guam Fire Department and has been a firefighter for close to 3 decades. He recently returned from a month-long trip to Pohnpei, where he closely oversaw training for the relatively new fire department.
Their main thing was setting up structure, command positions, just the whole gamut from its beginning. So the thought process was to come out and actually teach every member. So what they are a combination fire department, meaning that they have paid career firefighters, but they also have volunteer firefighters.
The joint training opportunity had been in the planning stages for the past 6 months with Fire Chief Patrick Carl of the Pohnpei Fire and Emergency Services Division and was made possible through the Western Pacific Islands Association of Fire Chiefs.
Guam Fire seems to be, one, we're the biggest department. 2, we have a lot of experience, a lot of technical expertise that can go out and help departments. And finally, just our support system as far as reaching out to other departments on island, be it Anderson, ARF, Fed Navy. We always come together and help each other out.
And it falls in line with the mission of the association, cultivating positive relationships between fire and emergency service organizations from the islands of Guam, Saipan, Tinian, Rota, Palau, Yap, Chuuk, Pohnpei, Kosrae, and Majuro, while supporting the island communities.
FSM, I believe, is consistent of 4 states, 4 island nations. So Pohnpei took the lead, and what they were trying to do was establish a national standardized formal training academy, but they needed help.
Chief Uggan made his way out to Pohnpei on September 14th and spent 1 month teaching fire standards and curriculum. Each firefighter was required to complete a total of 160 hours of training.
Once we do that, we also evaluate their skills, their ability to perform, but more importantly, give those firefighters out there an opportunity that if they want to see if they can meet the national standards, they have the tools, the resources to eventually coordinate with our association and be actually certified.
He says he's extremely proud of the men and noted they should be proud as well and take pride in what they do.
One of the ways that I initiated that was to do drill and ceremony and for them to sing their national anthem, which was beautiful. So every time they got information for inspections, when we called them to attention, their battle cry was Singayo Apuesta. It means firefighter and stand strong.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonah Gun-Charfres.
Stay connected via our KUAM mobile news app. Follow us on any of the social media platforms and sign up for our weekly email newsletter, KUAM Digital Digest on KUAM.com. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Thank you, Adriana. All right, coming up in the KSPN2 Sports Report, we have some baseball news. It's about time.
faster, easier to use. With live TV, recordings, video on demand, and streaming apps all in a single place. When you're looking for something new, recommendations are tailored to you. Voice-powered, personalized results to find what you want faster. And the unlimited potential of smart home. The new experience from TiVo is here.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 2 Health Talk. I'm Dr. Tony Stearns of Marianas Medical Center. Pertussis, or whooping cough, is a highly communicable bacterial infection of the respiratory tract. The bacteria are spread through droplets in the air when an infected person coughs or sneezes. You can also become infected through direct contact with discharge from the nose or throat of an infected person. Pertussis can affect individuals of any age. However, severity is greatest among young infants. Pertussis often causes severe, uncontrollable coughing, accompanied by the whooping noise, and it may progress to choking and vomiting. It can last weeks or months and may even cause death. Older children, adolescents, and adults are also at risk for pertussis, and the number of affected individuals in these age groups has steadily increased over the past few years. While typically not serious in themselves, these non-infant cases of pertussis represent a serious reservoir of pertussis bacteria in the community and increase the risk of passing the disease on to unimmunized and highly susceptible infants. So it's very important for all infants and children to receive the complete series of pertussis vaccinations as scheduled and on time. This schedule includes vaccinations at 2, 4, and 6 months and booster doses at 18 months, 4 to 6 years, and 14 to 16 years of age. It is also recommended that adults have one tetanus booster that includes pertussis in order to enhance adult immunity. Remember, vaccinations save lives. Join me again next week for Channel 2 Health Talk and have a healthy week.
Buenas sports fans. Buenas sports fans, the NMI U19 boys are in Cambodia right now for the Asia Football Confederation qualifier. It's a 4-game test against international competition where the winner is going to advance the competition, the best in the world. All right, yesterday the NMI was edged out by Brunei 4-3. Sunjun Tenorio scored twice for Saipan. Sunjun, he's attending Suffolk University in Boston, so he made this long trip to Cambodia just for this tournament. For your information, Sunjun was the one who scored the NMI's very first international goal back when he was on a U15 team. Today, the NMI is, tonight I should say, the NMI is playing against the host country Cambodia, and we have more games this week against Malaysia and Thailand. It wasn't Game 7, it was Game 3. Same thing, though. Almost the same thing, kind of, because, it was Game 3 of a best-of-3 series. Good seats still available if you want, or you can stand. Game 3, the final game between Go See Mark and the Mariners, the winner to advance to the championship series against CK Bears. Runners in scoring position for GSM. There's a squib hit to Jonah Flores, and I guess it was too easy. And Franco Nakamura scores on that miscue. A walk to Jerome De Los Santos packs the bags for veteran Manny Sablon. Heads up! The pitch bounced off the top of his helmet. Didn't hurt him, but it did hurt the Mariners. John Titano with the smash hit past third, and that drives in another run. JJ with the liner just inside the bag, and that plates Jerome, a 2006 baseball gold medalist from the Micro Games and 2011 Pacific Games. Lorenzo Sabaklim, the nubber, picked up by the pitcher Jonathan Villagomez. To home, Manny Sablon, he's out, but hey, he still got his gold medals. GSM puts 7 on the scoreboard in this game. Would it be enough? No, not if you walk everyone. And that's what it looked like Cody Kaipat was trying to do. A confab on the mound was called to settle down the young southpaw. Would it work? Did it work? Let's see. Eli Augenbaugh, who, did you know, he hit a home run for Team CNMI in Palau. He skies a ball so high would have interfered with the tourist helicopter's flight path. Fortunately, helicopter wasn't there, only Franco Nakamura. Gary Cruz, the level swing, that's a gapper. Picked up and fires to Byron Kaipat, who guns down the speedy Tone Tenorio. That's a top play of the week nominee right there.
All right, ball.
Was Cody grateful? Of course he was grateful. But then he takes a walk on the wild side. That's a great song, but not a pitcher's favorite. Bases juiced. And there's a wild pitch. Wouldn't you know it? Jonah scores. Nate Smith, you get a free ticket to first base, buddy. KJ De Leon Guerrero clubs a grounder off a Kaipat's mitt. Dennis comes in, but he got no play. Cruz cruises home like a cruise ship. More people walking here than in the color fun run. All right, down 7-6. The Mariners rallied for 6 runs at the bottom of the 6th, highlighted by triples from Nate Camacho and Eli Augenbaugh and Mark Flores' double. They go on to take down Go See Mark 12-7. So it'll be the Mariners and CK Bears, game 1 of the best of 5 series, Saturday. Well, the next tournament for CNMI Baseball will be the 3rd Micronesia Baseball Classic starting January 6th on Guam. Team CNMI will be drawn, well, it's already drawn from the 4 playoff teams from the 2019 season.
I have not informed them personally, because right after the finals, we will have a meeting, and then we'll start training.
Is everybody selected from the players from this league?
From this league, the 4 teams.
Okay.
Not the 2 teams that were eliminated.
Okay. And no off-island players?
No.
Just local?
Yeah.
Local league.
We want to develop our locals. Yeah. And that's the purpose of the NBC.
Distance runner Ramel Buenaflor can cross one thing off his bucket list, the New York City Marathon. Years ago, Ramel told KSPN2 Sports of his long-term goal of running the New York City Marathon, and yesterday he did it. He's going to bring home a finisher's medal. There it is, right there. Looked like he took a bit of piece out of that. Winding through the streets of New York City, Ramel joined more than 50,000 runners from 125 countries. It's the largest marathon in the world. Congratulations to Ramel for fulfilling his lifelong dream. All right, we're going to come back with a very nice weather report. Here's the windup and the pitch.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Let's roll at Gold's Gym Saipan with group exercise for every body. Total Resistant Exercise, or TRX, helps develop your core and improve strength. And Zumba toning is probably the funnest way to get fit. The Shake Cafe is a great place to stop by for a meal replacement or supplements. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Traveling or laying over on Guam? Don't wait around. Zip into Guam Adventures Zipline Park inside the Hilton Resort and Spa. Guides will take you through a series of zips, starting with a mountain course and then zip over the ocean with spectacular views of Tumon Bay. 6 zip lines in all deliver a thrilling experience, and it's family friendly, so bring the kids ages 6 and up. You'll love the security of double lines and a new braking system to make riding smoother. The towers are named after the islands in the Marianas. We call it the Island Hopper. Your guides will teach you what you need to know to soar through the jungle with a bird's eye view. Best of all, for residents of Saipan, Tinian, and Rota, you can book this experience at 20% savings. Log on to GuamAdventures.com and during checkout, use offer code HAFA20. Book it and zip it today. We'll even pick you up. Today's high 85, the low 75, heat index 95, humidity 82%. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, isolated showers, east winds 10 to 15 miles an hour, high 88, low 78, seas 4 to 6 feet. Sunrise 6:14, low tide 7:57, high tide 3:38, sunset a nice one. We hope 5:46.
Yes, all right. Thank you, Bob, for that weather
It was
report. A very
certainly like- I
fast
like
weather
giving
report.
these kind of weather reports. And that bad weather that was north of Coast Rye, it's going to go north of us. So don't worry about it. So weather looking good for Club
Yes,
200.
thankfully.
Saturday night, long-term
So,
forecast.
No rain, beautiful night on the beach. Sounds
Yes.
like a good time.
Good time to go
party.
dancing on the sand.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your night. Tune in tomorrow night at 6.
Good night.